All right. Well, good morning or afternoon for you Eastern time folks. Let me know if you are hearing me out there. But I think we have contact, and I am really glad to see some folks in the chat already. I see Sharon, I see Book Bewitched, and I see Jan and Susan and Pamela. So let me know if you're hearing this, because you should be. You should be hearing and seeing me at this point. And I am very excited because this is day 3 of the sales. I'm going to type something in the chat here just to make sure. Are you hearing me? Loud and clear. I see. Oh, it already came through. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, Willie Joe. It's so good to have all of you here. This is day 3 of the 12 Days of Christmas live sales. And today's theme is viewer's choice. Now, we did a couple of films before, a couple of videos before we got to this, where we asked viewers to pick things out of our mall space and our booth that they wanted to see in the live sale. And we're going to have a whole bunch of those in the live sale today. Not all of them, because the response was good. And so if you haven't seen your thing come up yet after today, well, keep watching because it will appear in another live sale soon. I see Sheila McKenzie and Sheila Fruman here. I hope everyone's having a lovely Friday too. Retro Country Girl, good to see you. Trina, hi. Lisa, it's good to see you as well. Nice tree. Yes, my poor little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I'm going to move out of the way so it can focus. There we go. Yes, it's a very cute little one, but it's had a tough life. It works, but the light's a little bit loose in there, and it's missing a few little points. But you know, we're all missing a few things after a while. Kelly Bolden, it's nice to have you here too. I wanted to talk for a minute. The rules of the sale haven't changed, but I'm going to try to do things a little more clearly today. So I want to go over those real quickly. Everyone is welcome to watch. If you are in the chat, then it is because you are subscribed. And if you are wanting to bid and you're not in the chat or not, that it means that you are not subscribed. If you subscribe to this channel an hour before the next sale, you'll be able to chat and bid on this one. We are running this like a real world auction. So please just bid up to the amount you're willing to pay. We don't do just in case bids. What I do instead, I'm trying to make this more like a real world auction. So I'm going to call fair warning. And today I'm going to start counting down, not out loud, but I've got a little timer here. When I say fair warning, it means fair warning. It means that the bidding is ending in the next 20 or so seconds. And I will make sure that you all have time to hear that and respond because there is a lag. But if you wait till I say going, going, gone, you may not have time to get a bid in because as soon as I type bid end into the comments, then that is when indeed the bidding will be over. So I will, and we will honor any bids that are received before bid end comes up in the live chat where I can see it. Let's see. So we will need high bidders to send the information to us. You can see what that's about scrolling in the bottom there. We'll add calculated shipping. I'll invoice within 24 hours if you could pay me within 48 hours, unless you're buying multiple items over multiple days, then I will get things out to you right away. So it's just really nice to have all of you with me here. Let me see if I can pop the comments up in my chat here where, no, I don't think so. So I don't think I'm going to be able, for some reason, I don't see where I'm able to actually pop in the comments onto the screen here for some reason. So we'll just have to go about it the way that we do ordinarily. So with no further ado, I'm going to get on to the first of 12 items. And remember, well, there's a little more than 12. A couple of these are choice, but but these are all things that viewers thought looked neat and wanted to have a chance to bid on. They are available to anyone. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Diane. I see more people coming in, and this is great. Our first item today is this piece here. This is a wall pocket, and this is Weeping Gold. Boy, my focus is way back today. So this is Weeping Gold, and Weeping Gold is this painted effect. We're going to start the bid on this at $12. So $12 is your starting bid, folks. This is a really pretty piece. This one was made in USA, and what's nice about it is a lot of the weeping gold is very sort of formal and sort of stiff, but this piece is just really fun and it's got a modern aspect to it. The weeping gold actually has 24 karat gold suspended in paint, and again, the starting bid on this is $12. So if somebody would like to have this in their house, I see Sharon Carter is in it, $12. Thank you, Sharon. I've got a let's see if I can get this overlay to come in. Hi, bidders. Yeah, nope. I guess that's just the way it's going to be. So that's the best I can do. Carol, you are at $15. I think it's a really nice piece. It's in perfect shape, no chips or cracks or anything. This would have been designed sometime in the late 50s or early 60s when the pink pastel was really popular. And the weeping gold, they would do a texture in the design, and so you get this nice sort of three-dimensional aspect to it. It's just really cool. I just think they're really neat looking. Sharon Carter, you're at $17. So 17 is our current high bid on this piece. It does have a mold number on the back. It just says made in USA. Most of these were made by little companies outside of the Zanesville, Ohio area primarily. So, and there is also weeping silver. That's a little harder to find, but the gold is very nice for Christmas. The pink is all year round. $17 is our high bid, and I'm going to call fair warning. And again, that means you've got enough time to get one final bid in, so bid what you're willing to pay. We are going to give this a little bit of time here in case there's any last minute bids. Our high bid currently is Sharon Carter at 17. Kitschy Cat, hi, nice to have you in the sale here. And Charlene Abraham at 25 is our current high bidder, and we are getting very close to the end because when I say what I'm going to say next, it's going away. Charlene's still our high bidder. In the event of a tie, the first high bidder gets it, and this is going once, going twice. Sharon Carter, you're at 28, and we are, let's see here. I got to put this down. I can't do both at the same time. We are at sold and bid end. And Charlene Abraham, you are the winner and high bidder at $30. So thank you very much. I'll make a note of that. And if you'll let me know how to get that to you, we will get it to you as soon as we possibly can. I just went to the post office this morning and mailed most of what sold yesterday. So we're keeping up on it. Jan Goodwin, hi, nice to have you here too. It's just a really neat group of people here. I recognize a lot of you from our regular video chats, and it's just nice to have you with us. Okay, now the second item I have, well, this is a little bit oddball, but I thought he was cute, and one of our viewers did too and said, would you please put him in the sale? And it is a very familiar, beloved 1980s character by the name of Alf. Hey there. And Alf is a hand puppet. And so he's a hand puppet and he is a premium. Alf is starting at $8. So $8 is the starting bid on Alf. I know that somebody specifically liked him. I thought he was really cute. I don't know if you remember that show. It was very silly, but he was the feature, that's for sure, alien life form. $8 our opening bid. And yes, a lot of people's dads loved him. I know that, Susan. A friend of mine, his dad just thought he was the greatest thing. And, you know, if you're good with hand puppets, which I'm not, you could make him do all sorts of things. The interesting thing here, I thought, is that, you know, he had a thing about chasing cats because he thought they were delicious. And this was given out by Burger King. And that makes me wonder what Burger King is cooking. Very suspicious, don't you think? I don't think there's any cats in there. So $8 is our starting bid. If we don't have the person who loved him today, we'll move on to something else. But I just thought he was really cool and such a flashback. You have the record that came with him. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, it says here that you could get the record and puppet sets. Ah, very interesting. And a rebate on Coleco on every Alf record. Yes, he was quite a musician. I know there was a whole episode about that. So $8, Susan Jackson is our high bidder here. And I'm glad he triggered a little memory for you, Susan. I thought he was very cute too. So Alf is going to be fair warning. So again, fair warning means this is your chance to put in your high bid. Because fair warning usually means we've got about 15 or 20 seconds left in the bidding, and then it will be done. And at that point, we say going, going, gone, and you may or may not be able to get a bid in. So Susan Jackson is our bidder, and we are going once. We are going twice, and we are sold bid end. And Susan Jackson, he is coming to live with you. That's great. I think that's a neat memory of your dad. That's really cute. Suzanne Crabtree, hi. Nice to have you with us. Good morning. Let's see here. I will put down Susan Jackson for that. Okay, and we'll move on to our next thing. I like to keep a pretty, hi. Oh, Janet, hi, nice to see you. Yes, it is true. I am selling every day. This is day 3 of the 12 days of Christmas sales. I rarely am in a place long enough to do a series of live sales like this, and it's Christmas time, and it just seemed appropriate. So, hey there, Blue Feather Mercantile, nice to see you. And Susan Jackson's going to do a puppet show for us. Oh, that's great. Well, I'm excited. Well, Susan, you'll enjoy. I'll have a video coming up at the end of the month. I bought a big collection of puppets and various related items, including a ventriloquist dummy and some really cool stuff that's going with me to the Florida show. So I'll show that at the end of the month when I pick it up. Okay, so I had a request to put in to the sale things that are Kentucky folk art related. And so I've got a choice on this one. These were both made by the same person. These were made in Marion, Kentucky. Marion is in the north and western part of the state, up near the Ohio River. And he made the horse when he was quite young. And this was, oh, Janet, yes, please, let's get on your schedule. Send me an email. Um, the horse was hand painted and handmade by the guy back when he was a kid. The horse has had one little problem with one of his legs is missing, but we're not going to shoot the horse because the horse is really cool. These, we're going to start the bid at $8 again. So $8 is our starting bid, and it is choice. You get one or the other or both if you are the high bidder. This fellow was from Marion, Kentucky. The the owl, I believe, is a horned owl. I'm going to show that up close. And again, $8 our starting bid on either one. There's the owl. He's got a great face. Gritty Gret is in at $10. And he did not sign these pieces. His name was Nielsen, was the gentleman who did these. And his wife is in her late 80s, and he had made several of these interesting folk art pieces. Carrie Matchett, you're at $12. The other choice, of course, is the horse that he made at an earlier time. Willie Joe is at 15. Where in Florida will I be and when? I will be starting to do Florida shows. New Year's weekend will be the West Palm Beach Antique Show. That'll be my first show in Florida, and then we'll go on from there. So I've got shows in St. Pete and Venice Beach and where else? Mount Dora and St. Petersburg. So I'll have a show somewhere in Florida every week or every other week through the beginning of March. Here's the horse. I like that he actually used, we'll show the horse a little more in detail. I like that he actually used the flax or the rope for tail. The hand painting is neat. Obviously, this horse had a little problem at some point and lost a leg, but I think he's very cute. Carrie Matchett is at 25. She is our high bidder at this point. And it is the choice of one or both of these items at the high bid price. So $25 each is the high bid. I'm going to call fair warning. And that means you've got about 15 or 20 seconds to get that last bid in before we hit bid end. The bid end is what I see on my end. So please let me know when you'll be in Venice, St. Pete area. Well, both of those shows are in January. The second weekend in Venice and the fourth weekend is in St. Pete. And I'm in St. Pete a lot because that's where I base myself in the winter season. So these two Kentucky folk items, we will have one more Kentucky folk item in this sale as well. coming up later towards the end. We are at the point of going once, going twice, and bid end. We have this sold. Carrie, if you would let us know which of these, either or both, you are interested in having, and they will, one or both of them will be yours. And you can tell me in the comments if you want, or you can send an email and tell me which one. But if you'll tell us in the comments, then if someone wanted the other piece, we'd be happy to give it to them on a backup. So if you don't mind to respond in the comments now, Carrie, with which piece or both you were interested in, whether it was the horse or the owl or both. She wants both. Okay, Carrie, those are both yours. Thank you very much. I think they're really cool. And I'm really glad that somebody requested folk art because we don't get a ton of that. So Carrie for both. And we've got 25 and 25. All right. Well, the next one, and I know she's here in the chat today, so this is good. We had someone interested in Yadro, and I've got two Yadro figures today, and I'll have another Yadro at another point in the series of sales. But this one is very timely because this one is Santa Claus. There we go. Come in, Santa Claus. And Santa Claus is an ornament. You can see he's got a little hook on the top, although he will sit flat on a shelf as well. Santa is going to start at $18. So that is our opening bid on the Yadro Santa. 18 is the starting bid. Let's see, the mark on the bottom is I think it's a middle period, like a 1980s, 90s mark. Carol Bloom is at 28 currently as the high bidder on the Yadro. He's got his sack, of course, behind him. He's got his list so he knows whether you've been naughty or nice, because that's what Santa's all about. But he is painted, of course, in the typical Yadro colors, so he's blue and white. Now, you might think, oh, that's odd because Santa always wears red. Well, that's only true in North America. Santa has been depicted wearing many different cloaks and colors over the years. Sharon Carter is in at 30. This particular one is because it matches the Yadro color story that they always use with the pinkish colors and the blue and the white. But in Europe, Santa Claus has been depicted in any color under the rainbow over the years. We just got hung up on red and green because Coca-Cola did some really good advertising in the 30s that convinced us all that Santa wore a red suit. So in North America, he sure does. Sharon Carter's at $30. And I used to say Laladro. Yes, Yadro is one of those Spanish words, and the double L, it's like a llama is technically a llama, I guess. I don't know. I'm just starting to learn Spanish. Carol Bloom at 36. And I am going to call fair warning here. So we're at $36 for the high bid. And that means you've got about 15 or 20 seconds to get your final bids in. If anyone is interested in this is your chance. He's at $36 right now. Sharon Carter is in at 40. And we are getting very close to the end of the bid on this guy. So any more bids coming in? Otherwise, we are at the point where we are going to be going once, going twice, and we have bid end. Oh shoot, well I'm sorry Carol, your bid came in just after the bid end popped up. I'm sorry about that, but that means Sharon Carter for $40, the Yadro ornament is yours. And I appreciate it very much. Let's see here, Sharon, okay. Now this next piece, also very appropriate for Christmas, and very Fenton. I think a lot of you may be familiar with their buttons and bows. And this is the button and bow pattern. And it is custard glass. So it is going to glow under a black light. I need to try to get it to where you can see that there. It's so bright in here. One thing about doing this in the middle of the day is that it's hard to show the uranium glass for as vivid as it is. But this is going to glow very nicely. The opening bid on this is $12. So starting bid of $12. If you are a uranium glass fan, a custard glass fan, or you just like bells. I had a customer who was really crazy about bells. They reminded him of his wife, and over the years, he collected, oh gosh, I don't know, he must have collected something like, oh, 1,000 bells in her honor. It was very sweet. And yeah, Book Bewitched, I'm sorry. I know you showed Carol too. It came in just a split second after the bid end came up on my screen, and I promised everybody I would honor what it is on my end. And that's why when we get to fair warning, that's to give everybody enough time to put in a final bid, because I know there's a lag and stuff. So I'm trying to allow at least about 20 seconds after that. We are at $22 on the Fenton Bell, and it rings very nicely. This one does have its nice glass clacker, so it's got a nice, very jingle bells nature to it. Buttons and bows was a very popular pattern, and in part because of the song that Bob Hope sang in I think, was it with Dorothy Lamour in one of the road movies? And so $22 is the high bid. Willie Joe is at 25. I just think these are really sweet. These would have been done sometime about 1965, 1970. That's when this was very popular with Fenton. Okay, O to B Me Too is at 27, and Suzanne Crabtree is as well. But if there's a tie, the first person to put in the bid would be the winner in that event. And so Gosh, what else is there to say about Fenton Glass? It just seems so perfect for the holidays. They did Santas, they did trees. They really were into gift where they did little animals holding Christmas trees and little packages and things. O to Be Me Too is at 30. And we are going to call, I always think of Frasier with buttons and bows. That's funny. Yes, I'd forgotten about Frasier in that connection. So I'm going to call fair warning on this. That means that, again, you've got one last chance to put in your high bid. Suzanne Crabtree is at $32, and she is currently our high bidder. The reason I'm doing it this way is because, I'm trying to do it like a real live auction would be, because if you folks go out in the real world to an auction, this is a lot of how they do it. So, and Suzanne, it looks like you're going to be the winner because our other high bidder was out. So I'm going to call going once. I'm going to call going twice. And we are sold. Bid end. And Suzanne Crabtree at $32, you are the winner of that one. Thank you very much. And I will get that out to you as soon as possible. Suzanne, I think I just invoiced you this morning for the piece you got yesterday. So let's see here. All right. Who is next? Whoops. Sorry, I got to keep my records straight here. And that is bees. Okay. Now, this I pulled for a viewer who I don't think is in the chat. So this is somebody's chance to get something really cute that a viewer picked but is not here to buy, I believe. And that is this very sweet little wall pocket. We had a wall pocket earlier today, but this one is just so little and cute, and it's by a very good company. And it's going to start at $12. This wall pocket with the bees is by Noritake. And Noritake here, in this case, is 1930s because it says made in Japan. That M in the wreath is a good thing for you folks to look for when you're out there looking for things to collect, because sometimes they just say M in the wreath and they don't say Noritake, but the M in the wreath was Morimura Brothers, and they were the outfit in New Jersey that imported all the Noritake and sold it in this country for many years. We have O to Be Me Too is at $18. Kat, oh Kat, it's so nice to see you. Carol Bloom, you're at 20. Willie Joe at 24. And yes, I just love the bees too. I think they really add something special to it. And just the way that they're painted, it's just a little bit of luster. They are definitely going after that flower up there. So this seems very springy. We have Oh to Be Me Too at 27 is our current high bidder. And, even though it's just a little thing, I think it's about 5 inches, you certainly could put a nice little cluster of flowers in it, but a lot of people just hang them on the wall as sculpture. I have a friend who has a whole wall covered with them. And it is adorable, isn't it? And oh, well, thank you, Patty. I appreciate it. I like giving information too, because, I figure if people buy this stuff, it's nice to have a story behind it. Oh, to Be Me Too is at 32. And yes, I agree, Kitschy Cat. The color of the wings, they really are a great shade when you look up close. It's like a blue lusterware. So you've got just a little bit of that flavor in this as well. So I think it's a neat piece. I was excited to get it. Willie Joe is at 34. I'm going to call fair warning at this point. Means and Oh to Be Me Too is at 35. So we've got just a brief time left in the bidding here. Get your last bids in. If it's M for Morimura, does that mean it's roughly 100 years old? Well, what happened was the Morimura brothers were quite surprised all of a sudden one day when it was announced that the bombing of Pearl Harbor had happened and we were at war with Japan, because they were selling off the old stock. They were precluded from importing anything. I think in 39 we quit taking imports, so it's before 1940. And Willie Joe is at 42, and we are going once. We are going twice. And we are sold. I'm going to put in bid end, and that will officially end the bidding. And Willie Joe, it looks like you got it for 42. I'm sorry about that, folks. I know sometimes at the last minute, to be honest, part of the reason I want to do it this way is sometimes with some of the just in case stuff suddenly goes like up to where people get freaked out and then they don't actually want to buy the thing because they went crazy. So I appreciate you all being patient with my system. I know we're all learning it together. But Willie Joe, you are the high bidder on that piece and at $42, and I thank you very much. Okay, let's see. The next piece we have, I'll start this time by showing you the label because it says Spalding China, and a lot of people don't know that label, but look how pretty these lovebirds are. This was another viewer request. They saw this and said, oh yes, please put that in a live sale. And this one is starting at $12. So $12 is the opening bid here. And these are the lovebirds. The lovebirds are very, very pretty, and the Spalding name is connected to a bunch of the potteries in Sebring, Ohio, including Royal Copley. And so that's why if you say, gee, it sort of has a little bit of that nice Royal Copley gloss to it, well, that's the reason why, is because it was essentially the same factory. Susan Jackson is starting us off at $12. And yeah, I just think they're very pretty. They have so much color. There's all this hand painting. This would have been done at a time when Stanglebirds were very popular. We're going to have some of those in a sale coming up pretty soon here. But I just think that they are so sweet. And I thought the detail, this is more, Spalding did a little bit more than Royal Copley because they did some overpainting. And so that's why you see all the detail in the claws here, or the talons where they have the texture. I think it's really cute. The colors are really fun. Lois, nice to see you. And Lois is from way out in Washington State, so you must get up nice and early in the morning there. So we're at $15 with Lois. And the back is also decorated, not as lavishly as the front, but it's nice that they carry the decoration all around. Originally, when they started making figurines, Susan Jackson, by the way, is at 17, the high bidder. When they started doing these like Staffordshire figurines, they would actually sometimes forget to, or not even bother to paint the back because they figured you had it up against the wall. But I like this sort of thing because depending how you display it, or if you have a mirror in a case, then people can see behind it. And I just think that makes it neat. And I'm going to, let's see, Lois is at $21. The other thing about this is if you look at all the detail, to make these types of pieces, you have to have a sculptor essentially make a sculpture of this, and then they cast the molds from that. And so, yes, I think the heads of the birds are really nice. The eyes are really good. So somebody had to sculpt all of this, and then they make a mold from it that's the master mold. And then every time they make a run of these, when the mold starts to wear out, they have to make a new production mold. So it's really rather complicated. And so that's when you see more texture and more design in pottery, you know that they had to go to some extra lengths. Lois is at 21. I'm going to call fair warning here. And again, fair warning means get your last bid in and just what you think you're willing to pay, because when I get to going, gone in about 20 seconds here, that will be the end of the bidding. Carol Bloom is at 26. And I like to say that the fair warning is to let you know because everyone's got a different computer, speeds are different, lag time can change, and I just want to make sure that everybody has a chance to bid on items that they like. So we are at going once, we are going twice, and we are sold bid end. And Carol Bloom at $26 is the show on my end. And Carol, you are the proud new owner of some lovely birds. Thank you very much. Let me make a note of that. I had a lot of fun seeing what people, yeah, lag is really a problem, Margaret. And that's the other reason that I'm trying to make sure that we give fair warning so that everybody's got a chance. Um, I'm loving your live auctions. Thank you. I'm really enjoying doing it too. And, it's a little bit of an experiment for me. I don't get to do this that often, and I'm learning as I go. So hopefully, after a dozen of these, the next time I do one, I'll be pretty good. Catworm, hi, good to see you. Okay, so here is the next bid, and she is Rapunzel, and she is starting at $12. So $12 is our opening bid on Rapunzel. And yes, it's true, refreshing, rebooting, all of that does help. I'm in real time here. So, unfortunately, I have to go by what I see here, and I know it's different everywhere. Do I have a listing of shops that I have at booths across the country? Well, uh, I'll just run down really quickly. In Washington State, I am in Star Center Mall in Snohomish. I'm in Epic Antique in Seattle, and I am in Tower Avenue Antiques in Centralia. In Kentucky, I am in Gilbertsville at Twin Lakes Antique Mall. And in St. Petersburg, Florida, I'm at Vintage Modern St. Pete, and I'm at Andrea and Friends Antiques. She really is gorgeous. And this is Pamela is the high bidder currently at 20. Let's show her up close because again, like I said, there's a lot of sculpting that goes into this. Now, this is a more recent Lenox. It's not new by any stretch of the imagination. These are about 30 years old. But there is the mark. The legendary princesses was a big line, and Rapunzel was considered legendary because look at that hair. She's just got the braid all the way down onto the floor, swirling around her. She's got painted florals. She is just really something. She's a very pretty gal, and I have to say that I think she's very sweet. Pamela, at $20, you are the current high bidder. And also, let's show the detail on the back of her hair. I had gotten a big collection of these, and I'm down to very few. And this is the last of Rapunzel that I have. Oh, yes, Sharon, thank you. That is good advice. Make sure you're in live chat, not top chat, because top chat filters things out and delays things a bit. So, Pamela at the you're in the Olympia area, we'll check out Centralia Antique Mall. That's great. Yeah, Tower Avenue Antiques is a good store, and Centralia is the big antique destination between Seattle and Portland. So Pamela at $20. I don't see anyone else coming into the bid, so I'm going to call fair warning here. And again, fair warning means get your last bid in if you're interested, because she's going to be gone in the next 20 or so seconds. This is Suzanne Crabtree is in at 23. So Suzanne is the current high bidder at $23 on Rapunzel with her lovely green jewelry. And what else can I show? Of course, Lenox is great quality porcelain and has been for years and years. They are the makers of china for the White House. Pamela Commons at 25. And we are going once. We are going twice. And we are sold at bid end. Oh, and at the last minute, well, someone took a chance and it worked out. Suzanne Crabtree, $27. You are the winner of Rapunzel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and she will love going to a new home. Okay, let me write that down here. Now, the next piece we have, this is another piece that, again, was a viewer request. And it is by a very famous company, and it's in a rather well-known pattern because this little vase is Belique. And this Belique clover vase is, or shamrock, I should say, they call them shamrocks in Ireland, is going to start again at $12. It's about 6 inches tall. It's got nice flared sides. It is the gold mark. Belique has done a series of marks over the years. Belique is made in Ireland. You can see the Ireland mark there. And this sort of ruddy reddish mark is the mark from, oh gosh, about 1990s, I believe they switched to that mark. But they've done the Shamrock line for a long time. And again, this is, okay, we've got O to B Me Too at $16 is our opening bid. The shamrock is just really nice because it could be, these can go out year round. They did entire tableware sets. You can buy cups and saucers and dishes and all sorts of stuff in this. There's also a really lovely sculpted floral design. So it's got an Art Nouveau feel. Belique started in the 1850s, and their porcelain is just such good quality. It's like eggshell. This one is, as they got on in years, they made them a little thicker and a little heavier, which is good because the early ones are very precious, but they're very easily broken. This one should actually hold up, I think, because it's just a nice, it's just a nicely done sturdy piece. And I'll hold it a little closer so you can see the details. There's no 4-leaf clovers on here, but plenty of 3-leaf. And those are all hand painted at the end. And yes, nouveau-ish design. It really is because it's got that sinewy, natural. The lines to it are very much based on naturalism. Kelly Bolden is at $18, and then you have the flowers appearing at the top here. It's nicely scalloped. Again, no chips or cracks. With Belique, you do have to be careful to make sure you inspect it for chips and cracks because it can definitely go there. So Jane Moon is at $20 and our high bidder. Belique is a company that, unfortunately, like a lot of the companies in Ireland, Waterford and others, so much of that has merged into other companies and a lot of it is not made there anymore. So even though this isn't a very old piece by Belique standards, the fact that it's Irish made means that it's something that is not going to be quite the same in the future, because so much of this is being done offshore. And I think that we are probably at a great place to call fair warning. And so that means you've got about 20 seconds to put in your final bids. Kelly Bolden is at 22. And, you know, again, just know we just want you to bid what you feel like you're able to pay for the piece. And And we just figure out who wants it the most. But it is a very sweet little piece. And Kelly is our, oh, nope, Jane Moon is a $25 bid that came in there. And so we are very close to the call on this particular piece. And again, I'm doing it this way because this is how regular auctions work. And I figure if you folks go out in the real world, because they're going to go ahead at a certain point and say going once, going twice, and sold, bid end, and Jane Moon for $25. You are the proud new owner of the Bleak Vase. And I thank you very much. I think that's a very pretty one. It'll be something you can use right away. And if you only do seasonals with it, well, you can use it all the way through, well, St. Patrick's Day in March. So you should enjoy it for a little bit of time here for certain. Now, this next piece is something that you're going to look at and either say, why would somebody want such a dilapidated old thing? Or, wow, what a really great old piece this is. It's the kind of thing that when you put it on a shelf in a den or something, it suddenly looks very impressive and important. It's all about context. And here he is. This is another piece of Kentucky folk art. And let's see if we can get back where we can get him mostly in the shot here. This is a pull toy from about 1930, and I just think he's amazing. This was not made by the guy who made the other pieces. It was made by his grandfather for him, and he was born in 1927. So this is on the verge of becoming a true antique. This is probably 90 years old at this point. We are going to start the bidding on this at just $12. I think it's worth a lot more, but we'll let you folks tell us what you think of that. It is pretty dilapidated. It's got two of its original wheels. Gritty Gret is our opening bid at $12. He's got two wheels out of four. He doesn't have a tail anymore. He used to have something that stuck up out of the back, but it looks like that's gone. He's had a few nails put in him over the years. His face got broken and glued back on. It's the kind of thing at some point that somebody might have said, oh, this is a piece of junk, but thankfully the mom knew that this was the kid's favorite toy. Carol Bloom is in at 26 and is the high bidder currently. I just think this is one of the cooler things that I've seen in quite a while. Carrie Matchett is at 30. Carrie got the other two Kentucky folk art pieces, so I'm not surprised that she has an interest in this. And just everything about it, you can tell that they tried to make this last for a few generations, or at least through a kid brother or sister, because you can see where there's a screw in it over here. It's got the original rope, what's left of it. It's got a split down the side. Again, it's one of these things that at some point somebody could have said, oh, that should go in the trash, and most of them would have. And so we're really fortunate that, yes, I agree, Jan, this is such a wonderful piece of history. It's so nice to see this still existing. You can see some little hammer marks on the bottom where this was probably a piece of scrap wood that was used for something else for a long time. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Oh, it's really liking, there we go. Yeah, you can see the pegs. You can see where it has shrunk along the grain, and that's why some of the pegging is bigger and sticks out further, and some of it is shorter, because wood shrinks along its grain, and so when you have one piece of wood going one way and one going the other, well, they shrink opposite directions, so things start to stick out. Carol Bloom is at $34. And yes, extra rope would have been a tail at some point. I'm sure somebody pulled the tail right out of there, or maybe it had a wooden tail that went in this slot here. But it's just fun. It's just a little rickety. It's just dilapidated enough. Carrie Matchett is at $40 on this piece. And as much as I would love to talk about it, we're making such good progress that we might even be able to get an extra piece in here. Hey, Karen Radford. Yes, I think it's cool too. So I am going to call fair warning. And again, fair warning means this is your last chance to get in your bid. If you are interested in this Kentucky folk art horse, please go ahead and bid now, because we will, fair warning means we're going to shut the bidding down in about, usually that gives you about 20 seconds, and that's so that everybody has one last chance to make a bid because of the lag. Carol Bloom is at $46. And yeah, Susan, I thought it was a great pick too. And actually, it's a gal who I've been selling a whole lot of her stuff for her. Her husband, who was the owner of this, built their house and everything. He was quite a woodworker. And so it was just really neat to have something that we knew was old and came from them. And I think it's wonderful. I don't get things like this very often. Carrie Matchett is at 50, and we are going once. We are going twice. And we are at bid end sold. And Carrie Matchett at $50 is our high bidder. And thank you very much, Carrie. I think it's a wonderful piece, and it's nice actually that they're all going to continue to stay together. I will try to make a little note with that piece for you so that you have a little bit of an idea of its origin, because those things are so often lost with time, and it's so nice that we actually know where this one came from. Okay, we have a viewer's choice on this one. These are two very cute and fun pieces, and we're in the middle of winter, but nothing brightens up a place like butterflies. And so we had viewers request two different butterfly items, and these are going to start at $8. So $8 is your opening bid on these, and the butterflies are going to flutter by. We had a whole bunch of butterflies, and I had to figure out, what do they call a bunch of butterflies? They can be called a swarm, they can be called a flutter. There's about 6 different names that people call them. Again, $8 is the opening bid on these. Now, let's take these in turn. This one here is, Pamela's at $15. And this is choice. You can have one or the other or both. This one is fused glass, and this came from an estate in Springfield, Illinois. I don't actually know who the maker is. Sometimes with fused glass, the artists sign these, and sometimes they don't. I know from the source that I got it from that it has some age. It's not brand new. Fused glass fused glass started with the Egyptians, but it became a really big thing in the late 80s and early 90s as glass art. And so I think it's really cute. Willie Joe is at 18. And then the other piece, and again, this is choice. The high bidder gets to choose one or both, and if they don't take both, we'll ask which one they want, and then the backup bidder will have the chance to get the other one. Oh, to Be Me Too is at $20. Let's look at this other piece here. This one is, I had others that were marked, and for some reason I don't see the mark on this. Oh yes, there it is now. It is copyright 1971, signed Arngali Artcraft Products Limited. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. Oh yeah, the camera's really being cooperative today. So you can see the signature along the edge. So this is chalkware or plaster, but it's a little heavier than the Miller Studio stuff. Artcraft was a little heavier, a little better made. So they would mold these and then hand paint all of those colors in there. And they did really nice shading on this one. I think that these are really sweet. Pamela Commons is at 25 and is our current high bidder. And again, it's choice. The high bidder gets one or both. And if they don't take both, then when we know which one they want, the backup bidder will get the other one. $30 is our high bid from Lois. And yes, these are just really fun, and they just take us back to spring, which I have to admit, I'm kind of a hothouse flower. This cold stuff, it doesn't do well with me for too very long. But Eventually, it'll be warm and sunny again, and we'll see the butterflies once more. So again, we've got the art craft piece and the fused glass piece. I wish I could tell you something about the maker of this particular one, but again, there's no signature on the fused glass piece, but it's a lovely, pretty ornament. So we have our high bid currently at $30, and I'm going to call fair warning, meaning again, you get in your last bids. I'm going to give you about 15 to 20 seconds longer so that we can make sure everyone has a chance with the lag before I close out the auction. Pamela is at $31 and is the high bidder. And I just think these are really pretty. And the condition is good. With chalkware, you really have to make sure there's not chips or cracks or repaints or things, and this one does not have any flaws at all. So Lois is at 35, and we are very close to the countdown here. We are going to give just a little bit more. I want to make sure that outsourcing, oh, well, I'm glad you're sourcing at least, Isla Rosa. So we are at going once. We are at going twice. And we are going to be sold and at bid end. And our chat says that Lois, you are the high bidder at $35. So if you could tell us in the chat which one or both, if you're interested in one or the other, and keep watching for tiki tropical Christmas items or a Santa in Bermuda shorts, maybe a palm tree with lights. Well, I don't have anything tiki like that, but I do have the lady leg lamp from A Christmas Story, so that'll be coming up soon. Actually, tomorrow, the fused glass one. Okay, so Lois is purchasing the fused glass. That means Pamela, if you are interested in the other piece, which is the chalkware piece, you may have the chalkware piece for 31. So please tell us in the comments if you are interested in that piece. And I will put Lois down as the winner of the fused glass item. Oh, you were up in Fairbanks, Lottie Ward. Wow. Well, you're up very early, and yes, I have friends from Fairbanks, a whole bunch. I used to work for a gal who had an antique mall in Washington State. She had moved down from Fairbanks because she said after 20 years she couldn't do another winter there. Anyhow, again, let's see. So, Pamela, if you are interested in the art craft piece, let us know. And in the meantime, we will come back with our, oh, Santa surfing and others. Oh, that might be fun. Yeah, I love the Tiki Santa stuff. I just have not really found much of any lately. But one thing that I did find lately, oh, I'm sorry, Pamela. Okay, well, Lois got that one, and we'll put the other one aside for a future sale. Now, the next piece that I want to show, and this is our 12th auction. We might actually get a baker's dozen in today. We'll see. But this is the Yadro Girl with Lamb. This piece is retired, and she is starting at $35. And that's about half of what they sell for on the computer, folks. So if you like this gal, that is a great place to start. She is discontinued. $35 is the starting bid. And Yadro really is so beautiful. They're very precise about their wear. You will not see seconds in Yadro because they destroy them all. Christine, oh, hi there. Gosh, I'm glad that you asked. I've been looking for your email, and for some reason I haven't seen it. If you don't mind to send it again to the antiquenomad@gmail.com. I wasn't sure how to reach you, but I have things ready, and I would be glad to see your email. So please resend it if you would. Sharon Carter is the high bidder at $50. There's something on here I want to show you. It is Yadro. This is discontinued, but you will notice that somebody was, in addition to all the factory marks, and there's a bunch on here, there's little artist marks, there's little touch marks, there's mold marks, but someone also wrote Nina on the bottom because she wanted Nina to have it when she was gone. Whatever is our high bidder at $60. Hi, Nancy. Good to have you here. Um, she's in perfect shape. There's no chips, cracks, or damaged. It's always very nice that people want people to inherit things down the road, but then after they don't have it anymore, well, then it's time for someone else. So, you know what? If you could write a list or put a post-it or a piece of tape on things rather than writing it right on the thing, that would definitely be helpful for future. Sharon Carter is at $65. And the worst one I saw, and this was very common in the late 70s and early 80s when the price of silver went up, people started etching their driver's license information on the bottom of their silver pieces in case they got stolen because they figured they could be identified. Carol Bloom is at $70. And so $70 is our high bid. And so, yes, it drives me nuts. If you are out there looking at silver or electronics, now that vintage electronics are popular, a lot of times they have someone's information scratched on. If they did it on the bottom, that's fine. Sometimes they did it on a surface and you can't do anything about it. Whatever and Sharon Carter are both at $75, and that bid will go to the first bidder that I see at that price if there is a tie. So currently, Sharon Carter at $75 is our high bidder. And yeah, I just love her too. She's just so sweet with the apron and the lamb. There are a few different versions of these. There's one wearing a shroud. She's actually not as popular as this one. And there's one that's holding a sheep. We've got Whatever at 76, Carol Bloom at $80. I convinced my mom to make a list of the important pieces and send to all six kids. That was really smart, Nancy. Yes, I've seen people do that too. Sharon Carter at 85 is our high bidder on this one. She's a very pretty lady and ready to go home with someone here. And the other thing about Yadro that I think is amazing is that they have such a great reputation, and they've only been around since 1953. And they went through a lot of stuff. One of the brothers split off and did his own firm, which is actually pretty common in ceramic making because if you have a family and everyone does it, not only maybe you want control of your own thing, but also you can protect yourself in case there's an earthquake or a fire in the factory. Someone else in the family has a place that you can carry on. So you'll see a lot of families that in porcelain and glass making that split up into various things. Isla Rosa Boutique is at $90. So $90 is our high bid on this piece. She is really lovely. She's certainly worth that. I've seen them sell as much as, believe it or not, $150. Let me get out of here so you can see her face instead of mine. There we go. They always seem very demure. Sharon Carter is at $95, our high bid. And we've only got a couple minutes left in the broadcast, so I am going to have to call fair warning. That is your cue to know that it is time to put in your high bid. If you want this piece, put in what you're willing to pay, and we will see very shortly in about 20 seconds who the winner will be on this piece. I'm trying to do that to give people enough time to get in a final bid before, with the lag that there is. I always like to make sure everybody's got a fair chance. And so Sharon Carter at $95, you are the high bidder currently. And we are getting close to the point where we say, going once, going twice, and we are sold and bid end. And Sharon Carter for $95, you are the new owner of the lovely Yadro Lady with the Lamb. And I know that for you folks that like Yadro, we've got another piece coming up in a future sale. I'm going to really quickly preview. Tomorrow's sale, by popular request, are things that are shiny and glittery and things for stepping out. So I look forward to seeing any and all of you at 12 o'clock noon tomorrow. Everything is going to be jewelry, boudoir, accessories, things that you take out for holiday use or any time of the year. And I think that that'll be a lot of fun. I know a lot of you folks have been requesting that. So we'll have a good time tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming by. Thanks for watching the auction. Thanks for bidding. And congratulations to those of you that won. If you'll send your information to me, I'll try to get things packed today and we'll get it sent out to you right away. And I'm really glad that we got to do this again. Thank you all so much. I do believe that there is another live sale going on shoot, it was a small channel that I wasn't familiar with. You'll have to look up. They're already in process. The Niche Lady is later tonight. Real Nifty Vintage is tonight. So I'm sure we'll run into each other somewhere along the way. And thanks again. It's really good to have you all here.